The moment I realized Dana wasn't who I thought she was, I was staring at her laughing like a damn teenager at a table full of women who hated everything about me. My name's Brian. I'm 32. I live in Glendale, Arizona, and I work in warehouse systems, the kind of job where everything has a place and everything runs on schedule or it doesn't run at all. I was with Dana for 4 years. We'd been engaged for 2 months. On paper, we were the perfect match. She was sharp, gorgeous, confident. Worked as a brand consultant, always jetting around talking to clients about aesthetic cohesion and personal storytelling. Basically, she got paid big bucks to make things look good. And me? I make things work. I fix problems. I streamline operations. No frills, no fluff. But I thought that was part of our balance. Me on the ground, her in the clouds. That's what I told myself. Her friends though, Crystal, Natalie, Britt, you could spot them coming from a mile away. Loud, spray-tanned, glued-on lashes, handbags that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Every time I was around them, I could feel the judgment. Not open insults, just the sideways glances at my car, the way their eyes dropped to my watch like it personally offended them. Once, Crystal asked Dana if I always wore steel-toe boots on dates. Dana just laughed. I told myself they didn't matter. What mattered was her. She said she loved me, said I was solid, dependable, said she liked that I wasn't like all the guys her friends chased. And when she picked out her engagement ring, a 2-carat oval with a custom setting, I didn't blink. $14,500. No help from anyone. I saved for that ring while working overtime and skipping vacations. I thought I was investing in forever, and she loved that ring. Showed it off like it was a damn Oscar. But now, looking back, I don't think she ever loved the ring itself, just what it said about her. That she was wanted, chosen, elevated. She liked being able to flash it in photos, to wave it in front of her friends like proof she'd made it. The worst part is, I didn't see it coming. I thought we were solid. I thought I knew who she was. But the second that ring hit her finger, something changed. It wasn't a slow burn. It was instant. And the celebration dinner? That's when it all really cracked open. We got to Mono just after 7. Place was ridiculous. Glass elevator, purple underlighting, walls of bamboo and backlit mirrors. You couldn't tell if you were in a restaurant or a music video. Dana grabbed my hand like a prop as we walked in. All smiles. They're already here, she said, scanning the room like she was on a runway. Her voice had this edge to it, higher and more performative than usual. I didn't say anything, but I felt it. Something was already off. We turned the corner and there they were. Crystal, Natalie, and Britt, packed into a curved leather booth, shrieking over their own selfies. Empty martini glasses and cocktail menus were scattered all over the table. They saw Dana and let out a scream like we'd walked into a surprise party. Crystal stood up to hug her, wobbling in heels that looked like they'd snap in a strong breeze. "There's the bride-to-be," she said, then turned to me with a slow once-over. "Oh, hey," I nodded. "Hey." We sat down. Dana slid right in with them like it was some kind of reunion show. Her whole posture changed. She got louder, more animated. The Dana I knew was sarcastic, low-key. But here, she was tossing her head back laughing, throwing around phrases like, iconic, and, I can't even. "Let's get a round going," Natalie yelled. She was already halfway through something neon in a giant glass. The waiter came and it turned into a free-for-all. Crystal ordered 2 bottles of some imported white wine. Britt wanted a flight of sake. Dana asked for a lychee martini and some kind of elderflower cocktail. I just asked for a beer. "Really?" Crystal said, eyeing me. "Yeah," I said. "Really?" They started ordering food like they were trying to bankrupt the place. Toro, Wagyu nigiri, sashimi platters, sea urchin, caviar adons. Britt ordered something called a tuna tower, which looked like it came from an alien planet. Dana leaned in, touching my arm. "It's okay, babe," she said quietly. "They said this is their treat." "Okay," I said, but I didn't buy it. I kept my face still, but inside, the math wasn't adding up. Every time the waiter came back, they added more to the order. Another round. Another appetizer. Another bottle. They kept the flash going, snapping pics, tagging locations, fake laughing loud enough to pull eyes from the next table over. Dana wasn't even pretending to be subtle. She started mimicking their voices. The same fake giggle, the same yes queen nonsense I'd only ever heard her mock before. At one point, she clinked glasses with Crystal and said, I mean, if he wanted basic, he wouldn't be with me, right? They all laughed. I looked at her. She didn't even glance at me. I leaned back and took a slow sip of my beer. Warm now. The whole thing had a set-up feel to it, like I'd walked into a game and didn't know the rules. You're quiet, Britt said, leaning over. Her lip gloss caught the light like plastic wrap. Just enjoying the show, I said. Dana laughed again. A high, fake sound that didn't belong to her. He's just taking it all in. Don't worry, he can hang. I could feel it in my stomach. This wasn't about us. This wasn't a celebration. This was a performance. And I was the audience. But I stayed. I watched. I waited. Because sometimes the best way to see what someone's really about is to let them think you're not seeing anything at all. The plates were cleared. Glasses half full, lipstick smeared, chopsticks scattered like toothpicks after a windstorm. Dana leaned back with Crystal's jacket draped around her shoulders, laughing at something Britt whispered in her ear. The check came quietly, one of those sleek black leather folders. Waiter slid it toward the middle of the table and vanished like he knew better than to stick around. Nobody moved. I watched it sit there, felt my stomach tighten. Crystal finally reached for it, all theatrical, like she was doing the honors. She opened it slow, squinted at the total, then smirked. Well, she said, dragging out the word. Then she turned toward me and slid the folder across the table. Let's see what you're made of, big guy. Natalie chimed in without missing a beat. We just want to know Dana's safe with someone who can provide. You get it. Britt made some humming noise and sipped what was left of her wine. I looked at Dana, right at her, waiting. She didn't stop them. Didn't say, hey, this isn't his tab. Didn't shut it down. She just grinned and said, I mean, sometimes a guy's gotta show appreciation, right? Like it was cute. Like this was all some fun little test and I should be flattered to play along. In that moment, something cracked. Not loud, not even painful, just final. I reached forward, opened the check. $832. For 4 of them. One of me. I looked at the number. Then I looked around the table. Crystal raised an eyebrow like she was waiting for me to fold. Natalie tilted her head. Lips pursed. Dana? She was still smiling. Like this was a damn reality show and I was supposed to perform. I nodded once. Calm. No sarcasm, no scene. Okay. Then I stood up. Dana's smile faltered. Wait. Where? I walked straight to the bar. Waited behind a couple arguing over whose turn it was to pay. When the bartender got to me, I pointed at my glass. 1 beer, I said, and I'll cover my tip. He nodded, tapped a few buttons. 19 even. I slid a 20 across the counter. Keep the change. I didn't look back. Didn't say a word. Just walked toward the elevator while Dana's voice started rising behind me. Brian? Are you serious right now? Not my problem. Not anymore. Doors opened. I stepped in. Pressed L. As they closed, I caught a last glimpse of the table. Dana standing now, half out of the booth, hands up, face confused like this wasn't exactly what she'd wanted all along. But I wasn't playing her game. I was done being tested. I was halfway down the 60, windows cracked, music low, when my phone started lighting up on the passenger seat. Dana's name, buzzing every few seconds like it was urgent. I let it ring, over and over. I didn't even glance at the screen after the first one. By the time I hit the exit from my apartment, I had 5 missed calls and a voicemail. I parked, grabbed the phone, and walked inside. No lights on. Quiet. Just the hum of the fridge and the weight of what I just walked away from. I didn't want to hear it. I already knew the tone. But I hit play anyway. The voicemail started mid-panic. Brian. What the hell? The waiter brought the check back and my card didn't go through. Okay? It declined. Crystal's card declined. Natalie's got some fraud alert or something. The guy said Brit's was expired. They think we're trying to dine and dash. They're threatening to call the cops. Her voice cracked. I could hear Crystal in the background yelling something about calling her dad. Dana kept going. Where are you? You can't just leave me here. You did this. You walked out like some. What are you trying to prove? Click. That was it. I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Then hit play again and listened a second time, slower this round. No apology. No ownership. Just panic, blame, and outrage. I tossed the phone on the counter, opened the cabinet, and pulled down a bottle of whiskey I'd been working through for months. Poured 2 fingers, no ice. Sat on the edge of the couch and took a sip. The silence was heavier now. Not peaceful, not relaxing, just dead quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you realize how long you've been ignoring your gut. I stood, took the rest of the drink in one go, and walked back to the bedroom. The phone started buzzing again. Same name, same ringtone. I powered it off and dropped it face down on the nightstand. Not tonight. Not again. I didn't sleep. Just stared at the ceiling while the digital clock burned red numbers into my eyes. At 5:30, I got up, grabbed a duffel, tossed in a few days' worth of clothes, my work laptop, and all the important documents from the drawer. Passport, birth cert, banking crap. I left the ring box behind. Didn't even look at it. By 6, I was on the road. Still dark out. I hit the eastbound freeway and headed straight to my brother's place in Chandler. He opened the door in boxers, didn't say a word, just stepped aside, then grabbed a cold beer from the fridge and handed it to me like he already knew. I cracked it, nodded. Appreciate it. We didn't talk. Didn't need to. He tossed a blanket on the couch and disappeared back into his room. I passed out sometime after sunrise. When I woke up, my phone looked like it had been struck by lightning. 43 missed calls. 39 texts. Dana. 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 Unknown number. Dana. I scrolled through them without opening any. First batch. Angry. I can't believe you'd humiliate me like that. You just walked out? Really? Who does that? Then, confused. We need to talk. This is insane. Babe, just call me. Let's fix it. Then begging. I'm sorry. I didn't know they were gonna do that. I was drunk. Please don't do this. I love you. Then one from an unknown number. You're a coward. Real men pay for their women. Crystal. I almost laughed. Crystal had the brain power of a wet sponge. I took a sip of water, then finally typed out one message to Dana. We're done. What happened last night was a deal breaker. 3 dots showed up instantly. She was already waiting. You embarrassed me. In front of my friends. You made me look cheap. I set the phone down. Got up. Stretched. Let her stew. 15 minutes later. Are you serious right now? What am I supposed to do about rent? My car payment's due. My card got declined again this morning. That's when it hit me. She hadn't even processed the breakup. She thought I was bluffing. That I'd cool off, come crawling back. I need you to transfer money. It's linked to your account. That's not fair. I stared at the screen, then typed back. You're not my partner anymore. That card's mine. You were just an authorized user. No response. Just the little delivered mark. I walked to the guest bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and stared into the mirror. I didn't feel proud or free. I just felt done. Done being used. Done pretending we were on the same team. And definitely done giving chances to someone who saw me as a wallet with arms. I was still at my brother's when the call came in, unknown number. I let it go to voicemail, but it rang again 30 seconds later. This time I picked up. Is this Brian Hastings? A voice asked. Male clipped. Official. Yeah, I said. This is Officer Medina with Glendale PD. I'm calling regarding a domestic dispute filed by a Dana Caldwell. She stated you locked her out of your shared residence and cut off her access to shared financial accounts. I almost laughed. She really told you we shared the place? I just need your side, he said. Is she listed on the lease? Nope. I'm the only one on it. Always have been. And the financial accounts? She was an authorized user on a credit card, not a co-owner. That card's mine. I shut it off after I ended the relationship. She has no legal claim to it. He paused. I could hear him typing. Okay, he said finally. Sounds like a civil matter. If she's not on the lease and there's no joint account, there's nothing we can enforce. Appreciate you checking, I said. She may still try to pursue it through small claims, he added. But that's not criminal. Yeah, let her. We hung up. I tossed the phone onto the couch cushion and cracked open a soda. The silence only lasted 10 minutes. Then my screen lit up with a new text from Dana. I'm keeping the ring. I deserve something after 4 years. I read it twice. Then I smiled. Not big, just enough. She'd finally handed me the silver bullet. I opened my Files app, pulled up the insurance documents, appraisal form, receipt, photos. All of it. Called the insurance company and asked to speak to a fraud adjuster. Yeah, I said when they picked up. I need to report a stolen engagement ring. I've got the original paperwork, the value, and a written admission from the person who took it. The guy on the other end perked up fast. Do you have that in writing? Text message. Timestamped. I can forward it along with my receipts and the police report I'm about to file. He didn't hesitate. Send it all. We'll flag the policy and connect with law enforcement if needed. You're doing the right thing. Damn right I was. I finished the call, then pulled up the non-emergency number for the department and asked to file a theft report. When the dispatcher asked for proof, I said, I've got everything. She gave me a time to come in and a case number to reference. By the time I hung up, the silence felt different. Not empty, just clean. As soon as I had the case number from the department, I sent Dana one last message. Short and clear. Return the ring by 5 p.m. tomorrow or I file the report. Your choice. No emojis. No threats. Just a deadline. She responded in under 2 minutes. You're ruining my life over a ring? I wore it for us. I earned it after everything I put into this relationship. You're threatening me over jewelry? You're seriously going to do this? I didn't reply. I said what I needed to. 5 minutes later, Crystal slid into my DMs from some backup account. You're disgusting. A real man wouldn't go crying to cops over his fiancée. Small. Pathetic. You'll regret this. Blocked. I showed the messages to my brother while we were eating leftover wings and watching SportsCenter. He shook his head, chuckling. You'd think they were the ones buying the damn ring, he said. I laughed. For the first time in a while, it didn't feel forced. After that, I got everything ready. Laid it all out. Screenshots of the texts, the insurance paperwork, the appraisal, the purchase receipt, the voicemail where she admitted to being stuck at the restaurant. It all painted the same picture. Not a breakup. A scam. She wanted the ring, the status, the dinner, the money, just none of the commitment. The next morning, I checked my phone. Nothing. No apology. No tracking number. Not even another guilt trip. She'd gone quiet, which meant she thought I wouldn't follow through. That silence told me everything I needed to know. I went for a run, ate a solid breakfast, sat down and double-checked my files. Made sure the folder was clean and complete, like I was getting ready for a presentation. Noon passed, then 3. Still nothing. By the time the clock hit 5, I was already holding the phone. I watched the minute turn. 5 p.m. Deadline gone. Game on. I walked into the station the next morning with a manila folder tucked under my arm and zero hesitation in my step. At the front desk, I gave them the case number from my earlier call and told them I was there to file a felony theft report. The clerk barely looked up, just pointed me to a side room where a young officer with a laptop was waiting. He introduced himself, flipped open the computer, and asked what happened. I laid it out like clockwork. Fiancé took an engagement ring. Texted me she was keeping it after the relationship ended. I have the purchase receipt, appraisal, insurance records, her text admitting she kept it, and proof of non-payment. He nodded, typing fast. Ring valued over $5,000? 14.5. Paid in full. No joint ownership. That got his attention. I slid the folder across the table. He flipped through it, checking everything, the messages, the documents, the timestamp screenshots. He looked up. This is solid. She pawn it? Not confirmed. But I've got a feeling. I signed the forms, gave a full written statement, and left with a printed copy of the report. Next stop was the insurance company. I called my rep directly and gave her the new case number. Her tone shifted immediately. Wow, she said. That's everything we need. Full paper trail, police involved, clear intent. This one's airtight. She asked me to scan and send the police report, then emailed me a release form. Said they'd get the fraud department looped in by that afternoon. Done and done. I grabbed lunch, went for a drive, and didn't think about Dana once the whole day. Monday came and went. Still no word. Not from her. Not from Crystal. No new fake numbers or sobbing voicemails. I figured maybe she finally realized I wasn't bluffing. Then Tuesday morning hit. I was pouring coffee at my brother's place when my phone buzzed with a voicemail. No missed call. Just straight to message. Unknown number. I played it on speaker. Brian, this is Frank Caldwell. Dana's father. His voice was deep and pissed. Not dramatic, just cold. I don't know what kind of circus you've created here, but my daughter is in a complete meltdown. I've got cops asking questions, and I just heard from her she might be involved in some kind of insurance thing. Call me back immediately. Click. My brother raised an eyebrow. That the dad? Yup. I stepped outside, called him back. He answered on the first ring. Frank, I said. You wanted to talk. Let's do it. Brian, what the hell is going on? Dana's telling me you threw her out, cut off her money, then tried to get her arrested because she didn't grovel fast enough. She lied. Yeah, I figured. I kept my voice calm. She wasn't on the lease. Not on my account. She tried to pin an $800 dinner on me in front of her friends like some power move. When I walked out, her card got declined. Mine wasn't her fallback anymore. He let out a long sigh. She told me you stole her laptop. She told me she kept the ring. I've got the text. It's in the police report. Insurance companies involved now. Silence. Then he said, did she really try to pawn it? I don't have proof yet. But you know your daughter. You tell me. There was a longer pause this time. 30 seconds, maybe more. Then just one sentence. I'll handle it. By 4 that afternoon, I was back at my apartment for the first time in days. I hadn't even made it to the door when a silver Lexus pulled into the lot like it was on a mission. Frank got out before the engine even stopped. Slammed the door behind him. He was holding a small black ring box in one hand like it was toxic. No words at first, just walked up and handed it to me. She pawned it, he said flat. Saturday. Got $3,000 for it. I opened the box just to be sure. There it was, same custom setting, same oval cut. Still perfect. Still worthless to me. I had to go in with the police report and a full statement. He continued, eyes hard. They called me this morning. If I didn't show up today, it was going into the shop's inventory by the weekend. He shook his head. Cost me $3,500 to get it back. Why'd you do it? I asked, honest. Because you gave a damn when she didn't, he said. And because I'm not letting her catch a felony over a rock she couldn't respect. I nodded, jaw tight. Frank looked 10 years older than the last time I saw him. She's in the car, he added, jerking his thumb toward the Lexus. Cried all morning. Wouldn't come in. I don't need to see her, I said. Yeah, well, he sighed. You might not get the choice. That's when Dana bolted out of the car. Tears down her cheeks, hair wild, flip-flops slapping the pavement like she just escaped something. Brian, she cried out. Please wait. Just let me explain. Frank stepped back, didn't say a word. She came up fast, mascara streaked, voice already cracking. I didn't want to pawn it, okay? I didn't know what else to do. You shut me out. You blocked me. I didn't move. You made your choices. Her eyes widened. You think I wanted this? You think this is who I am? No, I said. I think this is who you've always been. She grabbed my arm, desperate now. Don't do this. Don't throw away 4 years because of one mistake. One mistake. I pulled my arm free. You humiliated me, set me up, lied to your own father. Then you stole from me and called it fair. She shook her head, voice shrieking now. You're being dramatic. You embarrassed me in front of everyone, and you don't even care. I took a step back and looked her in the eye. I'm walking away over character, Dana. You don't have any. She froze, like the words knocked the wind out of her. Behind her, Frank opened the driver's door. Dana, get in the car. She stood there for a second, then burst into tears again and stumbled back toward him, mumbling something I couldn't even make out. They drove off without another word. I went inside, locked the door, and dropped the ring box on the counter. Didn't even look at it again. Next morning, I called the station and told them to drop the report. No charges. I gave the case number, said I had the ring back, said I didn't want to press. The officer didn't ask questions, just noted it and moved on. Then I called the insurance company and withdrew the claim. They thanked me for following through and confirmed they'd closed the file. I could hear the relief in the rep's voice. They knew it was a mess waiting to escalate. That afternoon, I texted Dana. Your stuff is boxed. Pick it up tomorrow at 3. Bring someone. She showed up right on time with her mom. No Frank. No makeup either, which was rare. I opened the door, didn't invite them in. Just handed over 3 taped boxes, a laundry bag, and her laptop. Dana didn't say anything. Just looked at me like she wanted to, but didn't know what would even work anymore. Her mom took the lead. Thank you, Brian, she said, voice tight. We'll be going. I nodded once, shut the door behind them. Couple days later, word started trickling in. Crystal's dad, some real estate guy with a stick up his ass, got hit with the full dinner bill. Turns out the restaurant kept a copy of the card used for the reservation and charged the backup on file. He flipped, cut Crystal off completely. No credit cards, no rent, no allowance. Last I heard, she was back in Scottsdale trying to sell designer purses on Facebook Marketplace. Natalie and Britt ghosted Crystal like the whole dinner never happened. Just disappeared. Guess fake loyalty folds fast when money's involved. As for Dana, her boss fired her that Monday. She missed 2 client meetings, and apparently it wasn't the first time. She sent me one last text a week later. Hope you're happy. You destroyed my life. I didn't respond. I've still got the ring. $14,500. Sitting in a box in my closet like a receipt from the dumbest purchase I've ever made. I'll sell it eventually. Take the loss. Probably get half, if that. But honestly, not a bad price for freedom. In the end, all it really cost me was $19 for a beer and a tip. And a whole mess I'll never step into again.